Hi guys, Mary's here. In our previous video we delved into the world of oil painting. Today we're gonna show you how to avoid common mistakes and elevate your skills using airbrushing techniques. And our main character will be Magnus the Red. But before we get into oil painting, I will reveal you which parts we used to create this model.
The Ghost book is part of the mini designed by Glukivnet and it's available for purchase in our Etsy store. The round elements from the base are designed by Bestiarium Games and the little ghosts are designed by Mini Monster Mayhem.
And now, let's give the floor to Nicola.
The airbrushing process may look familiar if you watched our previous video where we painted the Vortex Beast. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out to learn some valuable tricks. Here's a quick rundown of the process. First, start by applying a black base coat to the entire figurine. Second, use purple for highlights. Third, add a touch of sand and a white ink. Blend blue-violet for transitions between white and purple. Reminder: don't limit yourself to pre-made colors from tubes. Mixing your own shades can create beautiful transitions. Combine two colors and apply them over white. You will notice a significant difference. Begin creating highlights on the previous layer. Pay attention to the violet tones. Now, let's work with inks. Inks are great for deepening colors or shifting their hues since they're slightly transparent. Moving on to metallic paints. Reminder: metallic paints look best when applied over a black base coat. Just like other paints, you will need to add highlights and shadows. Now let's tackle the wings. We're drawing inspiration from an image we found online. I will start with a light purple color and gradually darken it. Even though the final result will be quite bright, leaving dark areas in recesses will give depth to the wings. It will be easier to lighten the flat surfaces with the airbrush later than to add shadows to the recesses. Time for some highlights. Focus on the most protanding parts, like the wingtips. To create more contrast on the wings, you can place a lighter color right next to the darker one.
And there you have it, our brushing process is complete. Now let's move on to Barbara.
Don't be afraid to explore different painting tools and techniques, especially when they are affordable. Let's start by discussing the importance of preparing your brushes. Don't hesitate to experiment with them, especially when they are low cost. Trimming them into various shapes allows for diverse applications. For achieving fine feather-like strokes, a frayed brush is ideal. As we paint the wings, we'll need tools to remove excess paint. You can choose from brush, sponge tip applicator, cotton cloth. Each tool has a unique way to removing excess paint, offering distinct results. Remember, never to use the same brush for both painting and removing paint. Always switch to a clean one. Let's dive into painting the wings. Apply paint with an ample amount of turpentine in the recesses and remove the excess with the sponge tip applicator. Use a trimmed brush to create fine feather-like strokes on the wings. For the ornate details, apply a turquoise color and lighten it to achieve a fiery effect. As finishing touches, we apply a few individual lines and accentuate the highlights and shadows.
But before we delve further into oil painting, we invite the best Polish teacher, Paweł.
Good morning, students! Welcome on our next lesson. A word for today is skrzydła. It means wings. I repeat, skrzydła.
Quite tricky, isn't it? How do you like the skrzydła we're currently painting? Tell us in the comments down below.
Painting Magnus's skin follows the same principles as in our previous video. However, we've dedicated more time to this crucial area, making it more detailed. If you want to know the process, be sure to check it out in our previous video. In this model, lightning effects are essential. Remember that object source lighting illuminates surrounding elements. For instance, the light that changes the color of the chest. Avoid painting over metallic shine with oil paints. Now let's talk about metallic paints. With just 2 or 3 colors, you can create various shades by mixing them with non-metallic paints in small proportions. By the way, take a look how quick you can clean your palette if you protect it properly. We've demonstrated the effects of colorful metallic paints compared to standard oil paints on a metallic surface, and you can see the difference in shine and vibrancy. When working on surfaces with intricate details, like hair, start by emphasizing shadows with a wash. Then use undiluted paint to highlight the top surfaces. Don't paint the entire figurine with the same brush. Switching between different brush sizes will speed up your work and reduce frustration. Now let's focus on the base. Begin with a wash in the recesses, and once dry, finish it as shown in our previous video. We've all been there, haven't we? The moment when you've had enough and your painting just doesn't seem to work out. What if I told you to abandon the mini? Forget about it and move on to something else? Just kidding! Or am I? Rarely do we find ourselves able to complete a large model in a single day. When you apply too thick layer of paint, next layers tend to mix with the previous ones, making it challenging to achieve the desired effect. So, here are your 2 choices. Either allow the figurine to dry and continue oil paints, or add acrylic details. Want to add acrylic details? Don't do it before applying varnish to the figurine. Of course, you don't have to follow the rules, but a criminal's life is tough. Don't use low-quality varnish. Never underestimate the importance of using high-quality varnish. it can significantly impact the final appearance of your miniature, enhancing color saturation and bring out its true beauty. Cheap oil-based varnish can yellow quickly and fail to achieve the desired effects. This knowledge is ultra critical, especially if you plan to apply acrylic over oil in your next step. Reminder: oil and water don't mix. As you can see, applying water to oil paint doesn't produce any meaningful result. Therefore, remember not to attempt mixing them. Instead, opt for appropriate solvents like turpentine. Don't put your health at risk. While oil paints themselves aren't harmful, the substances used with them can pose risks to your health. For instance, solvents like turpentine and varnish can be hazardous if not handled properly. Work in well-ventilated spaces, especially when using volatile substances like when working with an airbrush. Protective masks and gloves are your allies, so don't forget to use them. And of course, avoid skin contact with these substances. Thanks to the precision of a fine brush and the speedy drying time of acrylics, we can easily paint intricate details. Acrylics excel in highlighting intense light and applying precise lines, perfect for accentuating fine details like gems and edges. At this stage, if needed, you can use water-thinned acrylics. They come in handy for additional detailing or emphasizing metallic surfaces with acrylic metallic paints, as we'll demonstrate.
And there you have it, Magnus the Red. Let's see the final result. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked today's video, don't forget to press the like button, and if you're new and want to see more, make sure to subscribe our channel. And don't forget to leave the comments with the word you learned today. See you next time!